everyone. Thanks for joining us on the Tuesday edition of the show. Me, Adebayo. The eagerly anticipated final group game in Group C has come and gone, and we're here to discuss all about it. Bittersweet for Nigeria, a 4-0 victory for Nigeria over Benin Republic, but of course missing out on the automatic qualifying spot. A lot to talk about as we unpack all for you on the show tonight. We will also be looking at what's happening across Africa. It's not only Nigeria involved in the qualifiers. We will also talk about the Nigeria Premier Football League. That's the outlook of the show today. All right, let me quickly introduce, our partners on the show who will be giving us their thoughts and giving us insights into the new development with regards to the Super Eagles. Let's quickly bring in Bada Kisode-Johnson on the show tonight. Greetings to you, Bada. Thanks for finding time to be with us on the show. All right, okay. While we try to sort that out, Shola Elegbede joins us as well. Greetings to you, Shola. What a beautiful day to talk about the Super Eagles.
Hi there, good evening, and thank you for having me on the show. As you can see, I'm in good...
You're in good spirits, I can see.
Yes.
Your immediate reaction to everything. Well, a lot of people have gone to town with the fact that Nigeria has made the playoff spots, and of course, mathematically, no team could upstage Nigeria. But before we get to that, let's talk about your reaction to the game. Some are angry, some fans are angry, and the thought is, why didn't you play this way all from the start?
Yes, whilst I understand that trail of thought, I think now's not the time for that. I think the coach joined the squad during a difficult period, and they've been able to turn things around. It's never easy going into a must-win game. Nobody expected a 4-0 victory, and we were able to get 4 goals, keep a clean sheet, and things are looking promising. I mean, the players showed a level of effort and determination that we've not seen in years, maybe since the last AFCON. So I don't think today Nigerians wanted sexy football. We just wanted them to play for the shirt. And today they've done that.
All right. The Victor Osimhen hat-trick, Franco Eka are also on the score sheet. But let me take you back a little. Some have also said, maybe because Victor Osimhen didn't play in some of the crucial matches, maybe that's what happened. And some have said maybe the coach is just about now getting used to the players.
Yes, I agree with both points. I mean, we all know Victor Osimhen is our talisman. He's a world-class striker, and he makes a big difference for us and the psychology of the opposing teams. So having him on this day today made a huge difference. In terms of the coach, he's now unbeaten in about 8 or 9 games. He's got us up the table. We're scoring goals. We're keeping clean sheets. And I think he's starting to get a better understanding of what is required to take this team forward. I was speaking to my friend earlier, and before the game, I said, whether we qualify or not, I think the NFF should keep this man for the AFCON. We can see the impact he's had on the team. We can see that there's now stability in the team. And most importantly, we can see that the players are now fighting for their shirts. If Nigeria qualify for the World Cup, I think we will be very, very, very well prepared for this tournament next year. Let me explain why. We will have CAF playoffs next month. After that, we will then have AFCON. And then we will have the intercontinental playoffs. So that's a lot of game, that's a lot of time, and that will be a lot of preparation that the coach will have with his players. So I think if we can scale through to the World Cup, this will be a very, very good preparation for us.
All right. Hold your thoughts, Shola. Let me bring in Bada Kisode-Johnson. He joins us now. Bada, greetings to you. I want to get your thoughts, your reaction to seeing the Super Eagles hammer Benin Republic 4-0. Some say maybe coming not at the right time, but a win is a win.
Yeah, but I did say on the show last time that Nigeria produces when our backs are against the wall. Today, we knew what the task was. It was not only to get 3 points, it was to win very comprehensively, score 3 or 4 goals to stand a chance. And the team produced a performance and consequently a result that we hadn't seen all qualification series. 4 goals scored, none conceded, proper dominance from the first whistle to the last whistle. The effort was there. The willingness to get behind the ball when they lost it, defend in numbers, the willingness to get numbers forward as well, and giving options to the man on the ball. The players in the wide areas proved very, very critical. You saw wing backs who were bombing forward. Zaidu Sanusi, for instance, I thought was brilliant in the first half. When Bruno came on as well, got forward, delivered one pitch of a cross, which Osimhen should have scored from, which the goalkeeper tipped around the post. Midfield, Ndidi was absolutely imperious. He probably produced his best performance in the green and white in a very, very long while. Dominated, kept things ticking along nicely. Iwobi was good on the ball, kept it simple, kept finding players in space. Moses Simon came into his own more in the second half, created that brilliant assist for Frank de Tang's goal later on, which might prove very decisive in the final placings for the playoffs now. So, but what is a shame really is that we waited till the ninth game to produce this kind of performance and result. Had we converted just one of those 5 draws into a win, we would have qualified outright. Now we have to wait till March to be potentially the last qualifier out of the entire over 50 teams going to the World Cup. So you just keep scratching your head and asking, why do we like to do things a difficult way? Nothing is still guaranteed. We still have to go through this mini tournament where we go up against the likes of Gabon and Cameroon, and nothing is guaranteed because those are top quality teams.
Yeah.
And should we prove successful there, we then go off into an intercontinental playoff against an opposition that definitely would have, a lot of quality, but our determination to qualify for the World Cup against all odds now will then call out the can-do Nigeria spirit, the never say die Nigeria spirit. And then when the willingness to grind matches the undoubted quality that these players have got, what we saw today is usually what the outcome is. And the hope now, from now on, is that they can produce this sort of performances and results consistently, not just through the playoff series, but carry it on to AFCON, like Shola said, carry it on to the World Cup as well, should we make it there. And then we can give Eric Schell the platform to build a Super Eagles for the future for us. Because without consistency, you can build nothing. You can have the best players in the world, but if you keep chopping and changing, you keep disrupting, you keep, unbalancing the team, the rhythm of the team, and is this sort of poor qualification campaigns and poor tournament campaigns that will keep, putting together if we don't get some consistency going. So the last thing I want to see is someone getting some brainwave or some bright idea about some Jose Mourinho or Pep Guardiola being available somewhere in the world that can better our fortunes. We just sell ourselves these pipe dreams and ultimately sell ourselves short at the end of the day.
All right, thank you, Bada. All right, let's really take some reactions. Immediately after that game, the manager of the Super Eagles, Eric Schell, had a few of the players had some things to say. Let's just quickly listen to them. We'll come back, we'll look at the table, take a look at the results. And of course, my colleague, Oslo Kodakmane, is also standing by, waiting to join in the conversation. Let's take that reaction. We'll come back for more.
Easy, with a new coach, with a new philosophy, to acclimate really faster. So now we go to Morocco. This is not finished. This is the beginning. It will be very, very, very difficult. So tonight I'm just happy for my player. They played a great game. 2 hours ago. They played a great game 3 days ago. Like I said before in the last conference press, thanks God because you are here. And I'm happy for the fans because they bring us the victory. They start to help us to push us to take this victory. The player played a very great game, especially the best striker in the world. The best striker in the world. And all the player, we are a family, and if we win, this is together, and if we lose, and if we dead, this is together. So once again, I'm happy for them. I'm so proud of my player. I'm so proud about my captain because he scored a great penalty in Lesotho. So everybody brings something in this team. So now, like I said, this is not finished.
Looking forward to this press conference after today's game. I want to start by asking everyone to put their hands together for this coach. I want to talk about the important things. I'm sitting here as an extension of the team. I'm so proud to be a Super Eagle. I'm so proud to be part of this team, part of this family. I want to talk about the important things. Also, we have Victor Osimhen's representative here that should have also. But to talk about the important things, there's always so much to be said about this team. I know that it comes from a place of love. It's easy to celebrate the good moments. But yeah, it's been a really tough ride these last months. And that's down to us. And also, we've come out now and achieved something which was said to be impossible many times. And we kept believing. I think we have to love the players for their personalities, for expressing themselves. They try to do the same on the pitch. We know the difference between work and when we have time to relax and play. We're all human beings. We can't. If you could play all the games all the time, then we would do that. But that's not always the case. So, yeah, I'm very proud of this team. We have exceptional players. We have a special generation, and yeah, we have a big work still to do in Morocco next month.
All right, coach of the team, Eric Schell, and of course, William Troost Ekong. Let's quickly take this out of the way. The confirmation of the results today. Nigeria hammered Benin Republic 4-0. And of course, if you were expecting any favors from Rwanda, it's not going to happen. They lost to South Africa. South Africa knowing that they needed a win, and they got what they needed on the night. Let's see how Group D, the group ended for Nigeria. Group C, how things. Okay, today's results: Algeria played a 1-0 draw with Uganda. Guinea played a 2-0 draw with Botswana. Somalia lost to Mozambique by a goal, and of course, Gambia hammered Seychelles 7 past Seychelles. Maybe we can quickly take a look at the table if we can. There you have it. Of course, South Africa leading the way and qualifying with 18 points. This is how it ended, but of course, the issue of the CAF law and of course comes into play. And of course, a lot of people have their calculators out and they're sure that Nigeria will be docked just 2 points, end up on 15, and of course get one of those playoff spots because, of course, no team can mathematically, if you apply that law, get ahead of Nigeria. So Nigeria is in. I mean, that's what it is as of now. So we'll wait for that. All right, like I said, Austin is suited and ready, probably a bit more optimistic now.
What a great taste to you, Yemi, and of course, Shala and Bada Kintunde Johnson. Good to be on the show. Yes, look, Yemi, I've got loads of questions. You know, I watched that game and I kept saying, so the Super Eagles can play this sort of football, you know, so the Super Eagles can be this effective, this productive, and why did they leave it late, you know? Yeah, listen to Bada say we perform when our backs are against the wall and all of that.
it was too heavy. It could have even ruined everything. And meanwhile, we need to still wait for the outcome of, I think, DR Congo, for us to know what's up with that player as well. Let me quickly get to Shola because I just want to listen to the analyst. I'm still stunned that the Super Eagles can score 4 goals. Get an early goal as early as the 3rd minute. Shola, were you also asking those questions? And why haven't we seen this sort of quality from the Super Eagles all through the qualifiers?
I think Bade touched on this point. The ability of us to perform when our backs are against the wall was shown today. I think on paper, we're one of the best teams in Africa. We have one of the best strike forces in the world. But it's just the ability to make our players fight for the badge. And I think Eric Schell has done a great job in doing that tonight. I am shocked that we won 4-0. I didn't expect us to win. But this is now a new standard that we need to carry forward.
I know. I totally agree with you. Abada, you were optimistic the last time you were on the show. And what you saw today, did you say to yourself, okay, this is the sort of Super Eagles we should be having. How can we sustain this momentum?
So I think that, the Super Eagles will consider this, at least from what they say, as an opportunity to redeem themselves. They put themselves in the bad hands prior to now. Everyone is agreed on the fact that we had no business having these palpitations, having this, nervous breakdowns, punching calculators up and down and doing calculus and algebra just because we want to qualify from a group that had Rwanda, Lesotho, Zimbabwe, and South Africa. So I hope they do grab this opportunity to get a bit more serious. Sometimes, you see, what it takes to succeed is a shift in mentality. And I'll use the Argentine national team under Scaloni as an example. When Scaloni was appointed, this guy was Messi's teammate, former teammate in the national team with no coaching resume, to be honest. A young man, but he was a man who, alongside Messi and the leaders in that team, could galvanize the team. They had to strip out some prima donnas from that team and go for young, hungry players. When Julian Alvarez was picked ahead of more established strikers like Icardi, like even a member of the squad in Lautaro Martinez, but it was Julian Alvarez that was starting. And there were eyebrows raised here and there about, hierarchy, and we've got to get to a point where we shun stuff like that. Benjamin Frederick has got the unsung heroes of this qualification series. He played his first game during Unity Cup, as you know. Before Unity Cup in May, June in London, how many Nigerians knew his name? So it's not about names here. It's about ability and the willingness to fight for the badge, to put everything out there on the pitch, to leave nothing in the tank for your nation. And that's how we sustain it. Pick only players who are willing to literally die for the badge. Your reputation from your clubs don't matter. The number of goals and caps that you have does not matter. What matters is what you do in training, how much hunger and desire you show to want to play. Before now, I wasn't the biggest fan of Sam Chukwueze because across his club career, playing for Villarreal, playing for AC Milan, and these days playing for Fulham, he's just always found a way to disappoint playing for Nigeria. But today, you saw a man on a mission. You saw a man who understood the assignment. Every pass he picked up, every position he dropped into was meaningful. The right weight of passing, the devilish delivery that produced that second goal for Osimhen. It was just a mentality shift. It's the same players, really, predominantly the same players who dug us into this hole, who dug us. It's just a shift in mentality. And that's what needs to happen now. The manager has to put,
all right,
his foot down and say, guys.
Yes. I hope he does. I hope he does just that. And let me butt in a bit about that. We're going to get back to this conversation. We need to go on a break right about now. But just to let our viewers know that when we return from this break, on the DSTV platform, you will be on to Inside the Niger Delta, but on all our other platforms, you'll still be with us. We'll still be talking sports. We'll still be on Sports Tonight. Let's go on that break, and when we return, we'll talk some more about the Super Eagles and the things happening on the domestic scene. All right, welcome back. We're still on the matter. We're talking about the Super Eagles. Let me go back to Bada and allow him complete the point he was trying to make on the way forward for the Super Eagles.
Okay, I'm sure Bada is trying to get his connection back. But let me throw that same question to Shola, because Shola, you're big on what's next. If the Super Eagles eventually make it to the playoffs, what are expectations?
Yes, that's a great question. I think we will play Gabon in the first game, and then the winner of that game will play either Cameroon or DR Congo. On paper, I think we're strong enough to get both rounds, and I do believe that Gabon star striker Aubameyang will not play that game because he picked up a red card in the last game. So we're starting to see some things are starting to favour us. Right from when South Africa were deducted 3 points, it's just continued. So if indeed Aubameyang is unavailable for that game, I do fancy our chances. Against Cameroon, that will be a local derby, even though both games will be in Morocco, or against DRC Congo, I still fancy our chances.
We'll see.
The most important thing here, though, is I actually think the CAF playoffs will be more difficult than the intercontinental playoffs. The reason why I say that is in the intercontinental playoffs, we'll be playing 2 teams from Asia. We're playing 1 team from South America, which is Bolivia, and we'll be playing 1 team from Oceania. That's the makeup of the intercontinental playoffs. I think if we can get through the CAF phase, I really, really fancy our chances.
I'll hold on to that. That's pretty reassuring. Let's go back to Bada Akitunde Johnson. Bada, we lost you for a minute. Do you want to land on those thoughts?
Yeah, I hope you can hear me clearly now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I was just saying that, I mean, it's a mentality shift, mindset shift that needs to happen. And I think even through the difficult playoffs with the opponents, DR Congo, Gabon, Cameroon, if we get our acts together, we should be beating those teams. We should go into the playoffs, the favorites, to be honest, by whatever parameters. Is it, the most recent CAF competitions? We were in the finals of the last AFCON. I don't remember the last time any of Gabon, Cameroon, or DR Congo made it to the finals of the AFCON. And they do have some of the best footballers as well. DR Congo will come with them. Chancellor Mbembas and what was his name now? The Johan Wissa, if he's fit enough before then of this world. Cameroon have all them Mbumo and all this, players, Onana, Gabon, Aubameyang might miss the first game, but God forbid they beat us. But if they do beat us, he gets back on and he plays. So. I mean, it's a long journey. We probably wouldn't know if we go to the World Cup till March. But what's the option? Would we have preferred to not be in it? That's inconceivable. So this backdoor route, though long, let's hope it's worth it at the end of the day.
We'll see. Before I get Shola to make his last point, and then I'll log off. Let's just give updates from the other World Cup qualifiers, Group B. And that's of importance to us. DR Congo, Sudan, that game is in the 62nd minute, and DR Congo leads by a single goal. The other game, Senegal 2, Mauritania 0, that game in the 64th minute. So we'll continue to monitor those updates. The game in Group E, Morocco taking on Congo, that game in the 60th minute, and it's still goalless, Yemi.
Yeah, so that's it. A lot of Nigerians out with their calculators, and some of them I've heard, look, no matter what happens in those games, we're not getting out of this top 4, so we are in the playoffs. And I mean, a bit of optimism from the way Shola is sounding is already mapping the way for us to get to the World Cup. So it's interesting. And you see, somehow, And I'm beginning to agree with Shola. Somehow, these things might just work in our favor. Look, sometimes this lethargic, this I don't care attitude sometimes that we tend to see from the players, they don't even have the option of doing that because it's going to be back-to-back games. If they're able to scale through the African qualifiers before you open your eyes and close it, Nations Cup, before you think about intercontinental playoffs, I'm not even sure they're going to have any time to play any friendlies. But it looks like if they go through that route, we might be better prepared for the World Cup. I don't know if Bada agrees with that assertion.
Oh, yeah. One of the hardest things to come by as a national team coach is time. Time to train the team, time to work on the patterns and, the formation and all these things. So getting the team together regularly, and this time not for friendly games, not for meaningless friendly games, for matches that actually do count. It will go a long way in getting the rhythm, the rhythm right for the team. So if what they did today forms the base that they're building off going forward, we know that Ademola Lookman comes into today's team and kicks the team to the next level. There are players, individual players who are missing today who we know if we plug in, improve the team. We still have question marks over Nwabali. His temperament for me is questionable. It doesn't look like a player who's mentally ready for the big stage. Do we bring Maduka Okoye back? Do we find other goalkeepers from around Europe who may have the temperament for the big occasion? And there are question marks, over a few positions in the team. But what the manager wants is to have the spine of the team defined, right? So you're just basically garnishing. You're not looking around for, who are my two central defenders? Calvin Bassey, I thought, was brilliant all through, consistent performances all through. We don't know if Benjamin Frederick has the size to play regularly alongside him as the second CB. Maybe Benjamin Frederick's future, pretty much like Ben White at Arsenal, will be at right back. We don't know, but I thought also Shemilogu Ajayi was immense today, and he's got the size, he's got the height. He's also played European football virtually all his life. So an opportunity to play that many games that matter would answer a lot of questions for Eric Schell, and will be arriving at the World Cup after going through all of these playoffs as one of maybe the most prepared teams, because we would have had competitions, we would have had mini competitions, 3 of them, 2 mini competitions, 1 proper tournament ahead of the World Cup.
All right, let me just go to Shola before I yield back to Austin. If we continue with Nigeria, we won't end this show. But let's talk about Cape Verde. Are you surprised? Most people know that Cape Verde is part of whatever you may be thinking. I've been knocking on the door many times, but now they fully got it, and it's well deserved, in my opinion. Okay. I
think Shola.
Okay, he does appear Shola is not hearing me. So maybe I'll just pass the baton to Austin. I mean, while you were around, we've talked about this on many occasions where maybe because many teams couldn't go to the World Cup, they're either getting knocked out in the final round or in those 2-legged playoffs. But I've seen them come close. I've seen them come to the Nations Cup. I think at some point they got to the quarterfinal or something. So this doesn't really surprise me.
It does, Yemi. It does, because the World Cup is massive. It does because it's Cape Verde, a country that is barely over 500,000 people. This should be arguably the biggest celebration they've had after their 50-year independence. But they've worked so hard. If you look at Cape Verde and the progress that they have made, not just with football, basketball, and trying to get into the conversation of sports development in Africa, I think they should be a model, for football development on the continent. I think they worked so hard for it. I believe that they can, be that country that smaller nations can look at and get their inspiration. And this is what Gianni Infantino talked about, that expanding the World Cup, we shouldn't just look at it from the commercial, revenue points. Look at a small country as Cape Verde having the opportunity to go to the World Cup and inspire the lives of the people that are of the country. So fantastic. Tells you the power of sports to transform lives, to, unite countries and eventually make this world a better place. Let's go to Cape Verde, join them in their celebration, and I will let Shola and Bada Akintunde Johnson wrap up on the show tonight.
I can't put it into words. There's an overwhelming sense of relief. There's joy. There's all sorts of emotions. Look, it's an amazing feeling. We did it. This is our goal, our objective, and we did it. It means everything to me. Since I was a little boy, and I know it's the same for the guys in the dressing room, since we were all little kids playing football, we dreamed of playing football at the highest stage, and there's no bigger stage than the World Cup. So to do this, to be the first Cape Verdean team here, to lift all the people, the nation, to put them on that stage, there's no better feeling than that.
Honestly, I don't realize for the moment. That's just amazing. Like, honestly, I can't explain. It's just a lot of emotion right now. I still don't believe for the moment we're in the World Cup. That's crazy. Honestly, when we scored the goal, we knew it will be done, because we all the time win here and we never concede a goal. So we knew it. And after the sub, everyone, you can see when we score goals, everyone is just running, support each other, just enjoy. We're a family, so when we scored the goal, we knew it, honestly.
What just happened? Oh my God, I'm super excited because we just won 3-0 on Cape Verde. We were waiting for this game so we can make it to the World Cup. We did an amazing job. First half, it was a little bit, slow, but we did an amazing job because pretty much we missed just about 10 goals on the first quarter. But the second quarter, we really kicked it. We came out strong and we did it. We needed this win to win. We need this to win because we really needed to be on the map. We have never get to be in the World Cup, but this is an amazing opportunity for Cape Verde and for everyone, my people. Cape Verde, go Cape Verde!
I mean, a small country, 10 islands, to get on the world stage, World Cup is different. So it's like now, this is big for us. It's huge for the country. I mean, I can't say that I'm more proud, you know what I'm saying? My heart's full, we made it, and now the world's gonna see us out there and compete.
A lot to us because we're a small country and we've been trying for years. I believe a few years ago we almost had an opportunity, but I guess this was a time. It was a good game. We had, even though the first half was a little bit, we missed a couple opportunities, but what more important that we won the game. I guess we all proud, we're all excited. Hopefully we're ready for the World Cup as well.
Yeah, that's it. The people of Cape Verde will never, ever forget this moment. And shall I just imagine when they will get to file out, play at the World Cup. And look, we're just saying it that it's Cape Verde. They played in a group that had Cameroon, they had Angola, and they were able to gather 23 points. Shola, this is historic. And do you agree with me that smaller countries will get some level of motivation and inspiration from this?
Yes, even from the last AFCON, we saw that there are no more small nations in African football and even in the world. In Asia, I think it was Uzbekistan, they qualified for the first time as well. So this is a global thing that's taking shape now. We have to respect everyone. We just about got to second place in our group. We've drawn with the likes of Zimbabwe. We've struggled against Lesotho. So there's no more small teams. And in terms of Cape Verde, congratulations to them. But to your point, this wasn't a surprise because they had been on the ascendancy over the last couple of tournaments.
Great. Thank you so much, Shola, for your time on the show. We'll have you back again, one of these days. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, let me go to Bada quickly. Bada, when I was talking about Cape Verde and what they've achieved, I saw you shaking your head. Did that give you a rude awakening again that this is Cape Verde and look at what Nigeria is going through?
Of course, there was a bit of that, but Cape Verde doesn't surprise me. We saw them at the last AFCON. They played some amazing football. Matter of fact, I backed them to make the the semifinals or the finals because of how well they played through qualification. Yeah, they were really good. The quality of their football, some of the results they posted during the AFCON, some of the players, they scored some of the best goals at AFCON, some long-range shots. They're a good team to watch. They've got the right chemistry. They just need experience and the right temperament at that big level. So, but they will not be disgraced at the World Cup. You can take that from me because they're a proper team. They're a very, very proper football team. So I'm just happy for the nation, the island nation, 500, not even the size of Okwebi or Allen in Lagos. But yeah, they are going to the World Cup. What a remarkable story. What a remarkable.
And that's a good way to land Badak Akintunde Johnson. Thank you so much. That cracked me up big time. You took it to the smallest sample size. And I was in there. Thank you so much for your time on the show.
Thanks for having me, Austin.
All right, that's it. Badak Akintunde Johnson speaking to us. It's all about the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Yeah, I mean, what a moment. What a journey. It's now up to Nigeria to prove a point. If we need to first get that confirmation that we're in the playoffs, and then we wait in it, we approach it, we confirm if we want to make it to the World Cup or not.
Austin, don't let Nigerian fans get angry with you. A lot of people already out in the town. I mean, look, I must confess, I had my calculators out before today's game, and I calculated. And, of course, all of our colleagues in the newsroom could bear me witness. I told them if we win, with some kind of margin, we'll get to the playoffs. And I'm sure, as they all are, that we've clinched that playoff spot. All right, but let's talk about the teams that have qualified as we prepare to wrap up this conversation on the Super Eagles and the World Cup qualifiers. I'm going to go across in a few seconds just to reel out the names of the countries that have qualified. If we can quickly do that. After today's matches, some teams have qualified. All right, let me just quickly go across. I'll reel it out. And from there, we'll go to the Nigeria Premier Football League with a few minutes that we have left. So this is it. 2026. You already know Canada, Mexico, and the United States, the three countries, will be co-hosting the World Cup. From Asia, Australia, Iran, Japan, Jordan, Korea Republic, and Uzbekistan have all qualified for the World Cup. In Africa, that's CAF, you have Algeria, Cape Verde, Egypt, Ghana, Morocco, Tunisia, and South Africa. They've booked their place in CONMEBOL. That's South America. Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, Paraguay, and Uruguay have qualified. And of course, the usual suspect from Oceania, especially now that Australia is no more there. So New Zealand, and a country has just qualified. Qatar has just qualified. The gains of hosting the World Cup, the dividends, they're already seeing it. They've booked their place in the 2026 World Cup. So we'll probably just add them to that list. Before today ends, a few other teams will join this. But we are hoping that by the end of March, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be on this list. So that's the word, hoping and praying. That's what Nigeria does. That's what we like doing. The Super Eagles can do things to you, but it's all for the game. All right, so let's move on and spend a few minutes we have left to talk about the Nigeria Premier Football League. Austin, I know that you would want to talk about what happened in Kano, but before you do that, let's take a look at the result. Match day 8 results. Katsina United defeated Rebel Stars 3-1. Abia Warriors, Ahmad Helkanabi Warriors 3-0. Rivers United lost to Bayelsa United at home by a goal to 2. Warri Wolves Niger Tornadoes headed in a draw. Plateau United defeated Barao FC 2-0. All right, all of this match day 8 results. Let's look at the other matches in of course, match day 8, Wiki Tourist and Kwara United played a 1-1 draw. Kano Pillars and 3FC, a game that got us talking for all the wrong reasons, grabbed the headlines, advertised Nigeria in a way that some of us do not like. ended 1-1. Cook Khalifa defeated the Aba Elephants. Talking about Ayimba by a lone goal. Then you have Nasarawa United defeating the Flying Antelopes. Rangers International 2-1. Ikorodu City were able to pip Bedell Insurance by a lone goal. This is the top four. Nasarawa United sitting on top with 19 points, sitting pretty at this point, followed by Abia Warriors, the Aba Elephants, and of course Rivers United, all of them making the top four. Of course, Rivers United still with a game to play. In the bottom half, you have Coke Khalifa, Bedell Insurance, Kano Pillars, Abara FC, all in the bottom four. Austin, before we go, your thoughts, but I'm very sure you want to talk about Kano Pillars. Why Kano Pillars? Why always them?
I said it, Yemi, I came out straight up and I'm saying, we need to do something. Why always Kano Pillars, But shout out to Nasarawa United first, and the level of consistency that they're showing. The solid miners at the stage last season, they were struggling. But look at this thing. This isn't what
it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
It's disgraceful. It's barbaric. It doesn't speak well of football at any level. We don't even see this at Principal Cup level, do we?
Yeah.
We don't see this when communities, small teams that are just playing for 200,000 naira, 50,000 naira, they don't come out and show this level of unprofessionalism. It's so shameful. When I saw the sanctions from the MPFL, I just shook my head and I said, look, these people, they don't understand what's going on. We need to start with proper education, orientation. These people need to understand that it's not win at all costs, that they cannot take the laws into their hands. I've seen all sorts online, some Kano Pillars fans saying, oh, the referee made some dubious call, so the referee was compromised. And it's not your business.
It's not. You can't take... Yeah, you're bringing the game into disrepute. Nobody cares what was done. As long as you can't prove it, there are mere allegations. You cannot take the laws into your hands. And this is disgraceful. And look, you can cast your mind back to most of the times this sort of things happen with Kano Pillars. I mean, I can even remember an incident. They were not even in Kano, it happened here in Lagos. So things like this, it's not good for Nigerian football.
They've displayed in Lagos, they've displayed in Katsina. They just go to where they are very comfortable with doing what they want to do. And officials cannot tell me that if we keep seeing this every season, that there's no way they can actually make these people understand that if you love your football so much, the only way you can protect it is to stay out of trouble with it. So that's a ball boy running there. Even Ahmed Musa, I'm sure, he had to run out of that stadium for his dear life. Shooting stars players got injured. I saw goalkeeper Adams Mustafa in a very bad state. It's not good. I don't understand. This LMC, look, before they come and say, oh, when I was in Nigeria, when I see this sort of things, I just go, okay, it happened last season. We are going to find a way to nip it. Now that I'm abroad and I'm seeing this sort of thing, my heart bleeds. I'm telling you, it just goes to show how the international community sees us and our football and our way of life. And this isn't how to display passion. This isn't how to show that. And remember, we big up Kano Pillars. Whenever we see the Sani Abacha Stadium filled up, they come, they show their football. But look, if it means we tell Kano Pillars to step aside for our football to shine, then the MPFL officials should start thinking about it so that we do not have casualties someday that will make us regret, because we play football for the love of the game. That's the show. In London, I'm Austin Okonak, and in everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
It's a wrap in Lagos as well. I want to thank you for your time, for allowing us into your homes without knocking. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.